Hello everyone, welcome back to Manufactoria 2022. We're still working our way through financial tech, having just broken in. I guess I still is strong. We just broke into this last video. Let's head over to first Autobank. Marcus had argued for some time that bankers were widely disliked. I thought defiled, that seemed a bit strong. Seen as greedy, lazy, and any other number of crude stereotypes. What's worse, human error on their part had led to multiple recent financial crises. Of course, we both knew who'd never suffer from human error. Robots. Why are you making me look at this? Oh, it does say order doesn't matter. That was something I spent some time proving last episode, but it says right here. Okay, this time there were 3 and 2. Okay, so they're not always 5 and 10. Interesting. Subtract 3. Ooh, tricky. Because, oh, if they have... It must say they have at least 5, right? Yeah, because if they have 4, it's impossible. But if they have, like, it's not always easy to subtract 3, because they don't have a 3, right? I guess the idea is you first subtract the 2, and then if you see a 3, you put the 2 back and accept. What do I do if it's empty? That's illegal. Ah, it does say at least 5, you're right, okay. At least 3, rather. So if you see a 3, you just accept immediately. If you see a 2, you look at the next one. If it's a 3, you put the 2 back. If it's a 2, you go looking for the next one. And if it's a 3, you put both 2s back, but if it's a 2, you put 1 3 back. And that pretty much handles it, right? So, scanner, please. If we see a 3, we accept. If we see a 2... we scan it again. If it was a 3, then we put back the 2, which is blue, and then accept. If it was another blue, it can't be empty because they can't just have blue blue because that would only be 4. So we scan it again, and if we get a blue, that was 3 blues in a row, so we can write a red and accept, turning 6 into 3. If we get... oh, this is gonna hurt my area. I can almost squeeze everything into a 4x3, but I can't quite. I wonder, is it possible... So first of all, I guess I should demonstrate a scanner optimal solution, which is to put in a 2 here and then go over, oops, go over here to this guy who's going to write another 2 and then accept. This is obviously sad. People complained our banker bots repeated historic inequities and discriminated against minorities. That sounded hard to debug, so I just set the bots up so they'd loan to anyone, whatever their ability to repay. Would that cause issues later? Maybe, but later was a long time away. So if we look, we should max on scanners, right? Yeah, and just horrible on everything else. Yeah, absolutely abysmal. What do I need to do for area? 12. Yeah, so I thought 4x3 was almost possible, and I couldn't quite do it. The sort of obvious thing to do at this point would have been... Oh, no, it's so fucking easy. It's so dumb. Just dump it in there. I was thinking I needed to write down and then down and accept here, and it would be a little too big. But no, I can go into that hole. That should max out on everything else, right? Not time, obviously. Yeah. Sorry, not scanners. Because we added one more. Okay, that's nice. I'm sure we could, like, improve the scanner solution to not have quite such an egregious rerouting, but, like, whatever, right? Let's move on to making a mint. Control of the money supply was a hotly contested and controversial issue. Marcus had been sending lobbyists to the Capitol to argue about it for years, and had recently been rewarded with loosened regulations that would let us run our own personal money printer. Whatever the right policy was, I was sure our robots would find it. Okay, so now we know what greens and yellows are. What? Okay, so... the yellows are kind of like pennies in this context, right? What do you do about rounding? There is no rounding. Because you only get pennies in, and the output is required to be exact. Got it. So... it seems like the scanner optimal way would be to just read 2 of them and then put out a 2 every time, right? You need only 1 stamper. No, that doesn't work. Because what if there are 3? You can't output a number of 2s that equal that. So... I think you want to make change in kind of the obvious way. Where, like, you read 3 of them, and then you output a 3, and then you start over. And if at any time you can't read another, you will then have to make change for what you already wrote to the tape. If there's 0 left, you just accept. If there's 1 left, then you replace a 3 with 2 2s. And if there's 2 left, you write a 2. Yeah. But that solution doesn't work for an input of exactly 2. Or 1, for that matter, because we haven't written any 3s yet. So... what if we start by writing a 3? So that there's always enough to make change. That seems like a good idea. And then we know the tape only contains, you know, 1s followed by 3s. So when we finish reading the 1s, there'll be a 3 there for us to do something with. And we'll know there's $3 too much on the tape, right? So if I read 0 excess, if it's equal to 0 mod 3, we can just read off the excess 3 we put there and throw it away, and then accept the robot. If it's 1, we can... There's $3 too many. There would be then $2 too many, right? Because we kind of optimistically already put a single 3 there. I guess at that point we could replace 2 3s with 2 2s? Because we know we'll only be equal to 1 mod 3 if the value is at least 4. So we'll have written 2 3s by then, so there'll be enough there. Well, so I think that would work. But obviously it, like, uses more scanners and stampers than necessary, I think. And I don't even think... So it's not good for optimizing for those, right? And if you want to optimize for time, I think you should special case 2. As the only, like, as if the input is exactly 2, you special case that, and otherwise the input is 3 or more, and that's your general case. So let's write the time optimized one first. That seems straightforward to me. We need a yellow-green scanner. If it's yellow, well, first of all, there's nothing there, we just accept. Oh, that's impossible. So, right. In fact, we know there's at least 2 here. And then, if that was it, if there were only 2, then we can write $2 and accept. If there were at least 3, we can write $3 and then enter a loop where we know there's always a 3 at the end of the tape. So if we read a 1, sorry, if that was it, if there were only 3, we can accept. If there were... Okay, so... if there was 1 more than a multiple of 3, then we can remove the red that we put on the tape write 2 blues instead and accept. If there were at least 3 more... Oh, actually, hang on. We can do this more efficiently. If we're looking at time, right? Actually, I should be... If I'm thinking about time, I should be trying to work my way around earlier, right? So maybe, take this and rotate it a bit. Ah, hang on. What happened? Oh, not this. This is part of something else. So grab this and this, pick it up, and rotate it. Oh, really? I guess this then could be flipped. And we can get rid of that. So if there's 0, we write this. If there's 1 extra, we remove the 3 and put 2 2s in its place. Here there are at least 2 extra. So... we need another scanner here, presumably, right? Man. What I'd really like to do to maximize for time, I don't know if I can do it, is to have the first yellow go here, second go here, and the third go here. That should be achievable, shouldn't it? There's plenty of room off of this. Yeah, out of this and okay. So we're optimizing for time. So let's actually do that, shall we? I don't know. Maybe I could have used that stuff somehow. So grab this, and I think just rotate all of it like that, right? So if there were 0 excess, accept. If there were if there was 1 excess, go this way. If there were 2 excess, okay. So one more scanner in here does indeed work. But I have this problem, which is that if I want the yellow to go here, the white has to go either here or here. I believe this is solvable. Actually, wait a minute. Is this where I want to go anyway? Oh my god, it is. Right? Because I put 3 on, and then I said, oh, there's 2 more needed. Look at that. There's $2 just lying there. Amazing. I think this might be finished. Well, let's see what happens. Good. The biggest problem for the Mint project was determining whose faces would be on the bills. For his great work, Marcus got to be on the $20 bill, and Evan very politely requested a spot on the 10. For myself, well, what can I say? When I'm looking at a sheet of freshly printed $1,000 bills, it's nice to see my own face looking back, yeah. So that didn't even maximize time, huh? Needed to shave off 2. I mean... The obvious wasted time is when we write a 3 and then later decide to unwrite it. Right? Those are the $2 of wasted time. Or 2 units of wasted time. How much do I need to improve the other stuff? Are any of them close enough to go after at the moment? Not really. 5. 5 does not seem like very many. Well... Could we not enter the loop at this point, having not written a 3? Yeah, why did I decide it was important to special case? Yeah, I feel like I made this complicated for no reason. No. The reason is that... is 4, right? 4 is complicated. Every other number is fine. I can just write 3s, and if I get something equal to... No, even 4 isn't special, is it? It is, because I can't... Well, really anything equal to 1 mod 3 is special? Because if I write a 3, and then I see that there's exactly $1 more left, I'm toast, right? Unless I want to unread it. And unreading it is what cost me the 2 seconds. The 2 time units. But I have to not do that. I guess... what I should do is insert the red only... No. Like, I go around the loop here. Suppose I remove this red insertion and just make it a conveyor belt. Then, if I get here and exit, I can write a red and say, okay, yes, there was exactly 3. If I get to here and exit, I can write blue, blue, and not the red. If I get here... and exit, then I'm kind of hanging on to $6 at the moment, right? The 1 red I haven't written yet. Well, no, 5. So here I would write red, blue. And then when I re-enter, I write red. And I'm still... So, like... I guess... the invariant in this loop should not be I've output all the money I have so far, but rather I have $3 left to distribute. How do I distribute them? Right? So that looks like if there are no dollars left, then just output a 3. If there's at least $1 left, well, okay. We'd better read it again. If the number was... If the number of leftover dollars was just 1, then we have $5 to spend right now, right? The 3 we entered the loop... No, we have 4. The 3 we entered the loop with, and 1 more. So that's easy. Write 2 2s. Ah, but time. Time. We need to make sure that this bends around, so... Because we're optimizing time. So do this. God, let me put the fucking stuff down. Alright. I guess I can grab this and put it there, and at least we don't use that much extra space. One more scanner. If I found 1, 2, 3 more dollars on my way into the loop, I can finally cash out one of those 3s and re-enter the loop. If I found only $2 in the loop, then I can write $5, the 3 that were the loop invariant plus 2 more. So this, I think, has to be optimal on time. Okay, good. Obviously pretty abysmal on area and scanners. Do I want to tackle those? I don't know. Not really. I mean, area of 9 is shockingly small. Scanners, yes, I can definitely improve somehow. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave this alone. And we have time for level 2, let's say. I probably should have just done a level 3 instead, but... Okay. Use as few 5s and 10s as possible to produce the money the robot starts with. Well, that's easy, right? We just keep track of how many blues we have, and when that number becomes 2, we write a red. Yeah. So if we have a red, we write that red back and go to the same state. We have a blue, we enter a new state, where if we get another blue, we write a red back and go to this state again. Well, okay, if we're optimizing for scanners, which I think I will, we go to this red. So that should be it, right? No, incorrect. Oh, right. I have to write a green so I know when I'm done. Yeah, sure. So these should be red, white, red, blue, and green scanners then. Still incorrect. Oh, yes. On my way out... Writing so many bugs today. On my way out, I need to write the blue that I saved. There's no way to output blues. This can't possibly be correct. There we go. We'd had to update our Moneychanger bots already. Economic disruption caused by widespread automation had caused a sharp burst of inflation, rendering old coinage worth less than the metal it was made of. The government had introduced new $2 and $3 coins in response. I just couldn't wait until we were done with this nonsense for good. Was this one supposed to be done before first Autobank? Or before making a mint, rather? Where did they introduce the $2 and $3 coins? It was here, right? Shouldn't this be a prerequisite of this if we're gonna talk about $2 and $3 coins? I mean, I guess it's not a prerequisite in terms of, like, mechanical understanding, but in terms of story, it sort of makes sense. Anyway, let's spend a little time working on optimizing this for other things. Obviously, it's very bad. Stop! I just want to click once to look at the... There we go. So indeed, the minimum number of scanners and stampers. That was pretty clear. Can I, like... I can't look at those... I can look at them here. Okay, I don't have to keep going back. I only need... I don't need that much, actually, to get to area, believe it or not. I mean, so for starters, it's very easy if I want to reduce, to get rid of this column. Like that, right? That's good. That gets me to 16, but not to 15. And it's still optimal for stampers, which is kind of nice. Or where am I? Here. It improved time a little and area by a fair amount. But I think it's easy to improve area if I'm willing to spend another stamper, right? Basically, have a copy of this state that's that's here, right? Well, maybe that's not so easy. If I'm up here and I get a blue, I need to go to a state that's like this one. I mean, 5x3 is pretty cramped. I can go a bit wider, obviously. Or taller. Yeah, maybe if I'm getting rid of this, obviously I'm going taller because I have 4x3. I need to use this space better. That's really hard, actually, because how do I get back here? Okay, I mean, let's think about this in a somewhat more logical way, if possible. I don't think it's possible that the solution involves an additional scanner. Because, well, sorry, that's not true. I can't fit another scanner into this area, the 3x4. But we knew that we were aiming for 3x5, right? Surely... yeah, nobody... well, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I want to see the smallest, but I can't. I can't tell 15 from 16 on this graph. But I don't think we can get it at size 12. Unrealistic. But... like... I think this scanner is probably oriented wrong somehow. Well, I mean, how can it be? The blue has to send it to this state, and the red has to re-enter this state. And they have to be opposite each other. I was thinking, like, how... maybe I'm entering this from the wrong angle. Wow, I'm like having deja vu. I feel like I've talked about this before weeks ago, and obviously that's impossible. Because, like, if we... we have these 3 extra spaces, or these 3, to work with. If I put another scanner in them, fine. They'll take up a large chunk of it, and it's hard to see how to fit them in the space, but suppose you could do it. I'd then need a path from a scanner here back to this scanner or something, right? At which point, this one wouldn't even need to exist anymore. If I had a path from here between these two, I wouldn't need this one. I would just enter this one and be fine. So I think the solution, somehow, is for there to be a path from this back to here. And that seems very natural. We only want the 2 states. But that puts a lot of burden on this thing, doesn't it? How does it manage to support all the things it has, right? It has, like, one side of it has to be a red pointing back to itself. One side has to be pointing into this guy. Now, one thing that might be kind of cute is to have these 2 pointing at each other, you might think. Right? If you get a blue here, you go up there, and if you get a blue, you come back to this state. Great, except you forgot to write the red. That's kind of important. If you could write only in one direction, like go up here without writing, but go down here with writing, that would be pretty cool, but there's no tools we have that do that. So I think the red side has to come here directly into a red conveyor belt, right? Right. Or a red stamper, rather. The blue side has to go to this thing. And then it's like, all right, well, what are the other 2 sides? We need one way to come in after having written a green to the tape. Now, and we need one way that accepts. So I think the problem somehow is to rearrange things so that this because we basically said all 3 of these edges are accounted for. We know what has to be there. The 4th edge needs to enter via a conveyor belt. And one path to that conveyor belt needs to write a green, and the other one needs to not do that. I think. Well, that's easy. It just took me reframing the question a little bit more. I was thinking, okay, great. Well, I couldn't find anywhere to put this stupid little start spot that I could write a green and still have room for like another path that comes down here because the green gets in the way. The answer is put the start up here. In fact, why isn't this solvable with 12? It is, isn't it? If I just put the starting robot here. Ah, no. Because I can't put the green here. Got it. So I need the robot to start here. Like so. Feels bad to waste all this space and add conveyor belts, but there's still less wasted. Nope, wrong. Oh. Right. I need to do this while still writing a red somehow. But not on this path. That's a little tougher. I wonder if I could, like, unconditionally write a red before I enter this state, so that once I find a blue here, I don't have to write it. I can just hop onto this and come in. And then in the case where I decide I shouldn't actually have written that red, I could remove it and write a blue before I go. Or I could write one too many reds on my way in here and remove one at this stage, right? As long as I do all my writing of reds before all my writing of blues, I know anything I read from the tape will be red at the time when the tape would otherwise have been empty. Or after I read the green, let's say. So I can fix things up at that point. Yeah. So let's put another red writer here. And in this case, that red was too much. And so we need to throw it away. And likewise, in this case, when we just read our green, we had one red too many. So we throw away that excess red, and only then put on the blue. Right? Yeah. There's an area solution for you. Still not there on time. Closer, though, I think. I forget what my previous time was, but 24 seems pretty good. Off by 2 for the worst case. Well, that makes sense. It's the extra red that I dumped on there, right? And then immediately red off at the end. If I weren't optimizing for area, I wouldn't have had to do that, I think. It's still a little hard to see how to get... Well, no, it's not. We can't get from this state back to here instantly, but doing it in 2 cycles was fast enough. Right? It wasn't like 2 per coin that was wrong. It was 2 per, like, the entire solution. All we have to do is not write this on the way in and not read it off on the way out, and we'll be fine. So if I put this back, grab this and move it down, turn that into a normal belt, with not a normal belt, with a red there, but just don't go in that way, right? Come in like this. Oh my god. Come in like that. Wait, isn't it? This is the same area. I thought this would be larger, but it wasn't. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was faster by 2, as expected. Apparently you can improve it a bit more, even? That's hard to see. I've noticed a couple of these where Pleasing Fungus is faster than me by 1. And I'm like, what? That's hard. I don't know. Maybe, oh, I might have an idea. What if... What if you are willing to duplicate most of the machine so that this stamp didn't lead... no. So that the first scanner you enter isn't this one. Instead, it's something that acts a lot like it and inputs into like this area. So that this green can be right up against this input, against this scanner. And you only enter into the actual fast loop, like the permanent loop, after doing the first iteration in a slightly faster way. That should do it, right? I'm going to do that just like for the exercise. So we're copying basically all of this. First of all, get over here. And the difference is oh my god, that this now points straight in there. This still bounces back to this state. And we don't need that anymore. Take this section and horizontal mirror it for me like this. Now, when you would have gone, yeah, now, we enter the main machine over here. When we first find two blues, we jump into here. And so instead of going left, down, right, we're going right, 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 but it's the same number of cycles, and then we enter this area. So we avoided basically the one cycle overhead of this guy going from start to green to belt to scanner. He now goes start to green to scanner. Right? Yeah. You can't stop me. Where am I? Was it this one? I've already forgotten. It was this one, right? Yeah. Moneychanger. So, yeah, 15 was our best on that. 6 was our best on scanners, and this is time. Catch up to pleasing fungus there. Yeah, so I think there have been a few puzzles where I could have done something like this, but didn't think of it, or didn't care to fight for that one extra tick. But, okay, good to keep this in mind as a possibility. Ooh, okay, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.